What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Web3 Rundown. Super exciting day today. Brian, how you feeling?
Dude, I never felt better. We're crushing it in the macros. Bitcoin's firing off. I woke up with about 20 text messages from friends and family asking if it's a good time to buy right now. I was snarky with a few of the friends and I was like, it was a good time to buy in March when Sol was $40 and Bitcoin was 47 and I was begging you to buy. But I feel great, man. It's always fun to see green candles all over the screen.
I love it. And can you see my screen right now? I'm sharing Bitcoin's current chart. It looks beautiful. Currently at 72,500. Our previous all-time high, what was it, Brian?
73.9, somewhere around there. You
Yeah,
put me on the spot there, my guy, but it's right.
yeah.
We're damn close.
We're like $500 off. It was 73,000 and like $90, exactly what you said earlier. So exciting times all around. If we go back to look at all the, coins in the top 100, everything's like a sea of green. Exciting times. Pumptober is finally here. We're about what, 1, 2 weeks away from the elections, right? That's kind of what people are kind of what are they thinking? They're thinking Trump's gonna. We're not gonna talk about politics here. We'll let Robinhood do that. So that's a good segue because Robinhood they launched a presidential election predictions market for Americans only, which is exciting because we talked about on the Web3 rundown. We talked about Polymarket a lot, something that you know and love. But here's something for United States. People can get involved now. This is not exactly crypto related, but what do you think what do you think about the elections overall affecting the markets? And what do you think about Robinhood, Brian?
Yeah, never want to get it too big into a political point of view, but obviously we're a week away from the elections. There's a correlation here between crypto and the financial markets in the possible outcome of the presidential election. It does feel like Trump is the more crypto pro candidate. I think everyone can kind of agree with that, but Kamala definitely has said that she wants to support Bitcoin and digital assets in the future. Is she trying to get votes? Does she really believe that? It really doesn't matter to me as long as, both of these candidates are somewhat pro crypto at the end of the day. But I think for our bags, and that's not the only reason someone should vote by any means, but I think for our crypto bags in the short term window, a win by Trump will more likely push us I've been talking about it for months, Joe. I've been saying that we were going to chop through the summer. September was going to be low. October, we're going to fire off. Right around the election, I thought we were going to be around 70,000 bucks. I'm not right all the time, but this is one time I really feel like I nailed that timeline. And I think if the polls continuously to show Trump leading like they are, I do think maybe next time when we're doing this show next week, we could be really close to 80,000. If he wins, things could get really wild. Now, if he loses, I still think that we're in a great spot. The Democrats do love to print money, so overall, it might not be horrible for Bitcoin long term. And you asked me about Robinhood. I'm a big Polymarket guy. I definitely have explored that platform quite a bit. And it's a lot of fun, There's a lot of like degenerate behavior around here. The talk of the town, anytime you turn on the news, is about elections and possibly around crypto. So they basically made a baby, and now you can utilize prediction markets on Robinhood. I think it's a very bullish news for everything.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have a Robinhood account that I haven't touched, but I'm gonna dust it off and probably bet on these presidential elections. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's some definitely interesting bets out there. I do think Trump has a lead here, but Kamala's odds, it seems like a lot more money is flowing into Trump on Poly market, and that's usually a bullish sign because you put your money where your mouth is, right? It's not like just random pollers calling you or stopping on the street asking who you're voting for. You're literally wagering your own money. But then there's this other side of the coin where we both know that like crypto Twitter is mostly right, mostly Trump supporters. And I think a lot of the people that would actually wager or possibly utilize a VPN on Polymarket are more conservative voters, Trump voters at the end of the day. So that could kind of move it. So I'm not really sure where the value is, but personally, probably more value on Kamala winning because I think it's a little tighter race than we believe. But it's awesome that we can do this. We can have the experience. We can have some fun. And I really believe people get more into politics when they have like some skin in the game.
100%. 100%. Tell us about what else is going on with Bitcoin. I know you got a lot to talk about. Van X doing stuff. There's a lot of headlining news here.
Yeah, man, there's tons of news out here. I'm going to share my screen because obviously it is extremely bullish out here in the streets. We love to see that. And Van Eck is absolutely pushing the narrative as well. Van Eck's Matthew Siegel tells the CNBC that this is a very bullish setup for Bitcoin into the election, talking about how this is forming into, or it's a golden cross, and essentially that's short-term moving average crosses the long-term moving average. End of the day, you don't need to know what that is, except it's extremely bullish and it's an indicator traders utilize. And they're talking $108 billion Van Eck is talking about how bullish they are with Bitcoin. And then Matt Siegel also talks about how he thinks Bitcoin could hit $3 million price point in the next 25 years. Watching this quick clip, he definitely gives some very strong reasoning why he believes Bitcoin can become another major asset class. It already has, but kind of eat into gold's asset class. But just overall, super bullish what's happening in the Bitcoin world. What do you think? You think we're at 3 million in 25 years?
I just hope we have some sort of US regulations because clearly Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's like the third, fourth cycle, right? And the government is enforcing on it, but there's no clear legislation on it, which is crazy, right? Like it's been close to two, I wouldn't say 2 decades, but we're approaching, close to the second decade, so it's just that's what I hope for, that we just have clear runway because, other countries are leading the pack.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I think the more Van X, the more major bankers and funds out there that are talking about the bullishness of Bitcoin, talking about the bullishness of just not just Bitcoin, but digital assets, utilizing blockchain technology for all sorts of different um, uh, paths. It's just a bullish time to be in these markets. I love what we do for a living. I love talking to people who are interested in crypto and learning more about blockchain. And the United States absolutely has to lead the way. There's another super interesting article that I found I want to share with everyone because we talk about Bitcoin always being digital gold. And a lot of people love to compare Bitcoin to gold. It tells a very interesting story. It makes a lot of sense why you compare it to digital gold. But at the end of the day, these Bitcoin ETFs have absolutely been crushing it. And I think they said that these ETFs have accumulated over 938,000 Bitcoin worth over 63 billion with a B, not an M, a B. So it's just absolutely massive flows into these ETFs. And it makes me extremely bullish because I think somewhere in this article it said that to the point we're not even a year into these ETFs. And where we are right now, I think it took gold 4 to 5 years to match similar flows. So Bitcoin's moving fast. Bankers are getting behind it. Van X of the worlds are getting behind it. And the price is definitely showing a positive movement.
Yeah, I love the spot ETF. I love holding Bitcoin in my Roth because it cannot be taxed on gains. And I'm loving today as Bitcoin's nearing its all-time high. And I love looking at it because, it's inside my Roth again. But, just speaking from cultural standpoint, Asian people love gold. It's just like a cultural thing ingrained in heritage. But it did not pass on to myself. I'm not going to pass it to my new firstborn. But yeah, I'm more excited about the spot, Bitcoin ETF versus gold. I never bought the gold ETF personally, but I do own Bitcoin ETF.
That's interesting. We've never talked about that offline, that you have exposure in your Roth and you're not going to get taxed on gains, huh? I bought the ETF, but I didn't do anything with the Roth. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I learned that from somebody who started buying Bitcoin in 2016 inside the Roth. I think he made like millions. And he's like, the best part is I'm not going to get taxed on it. So that's something to think about.
All right, we're gonna have to talk a little bit more offline for sure because, I hate taxes. Who likes taxes? So there's some really other interesting things going on out here, and I'm not even going to bring the article up, but I am going to talk about it. Is the New York Stock Exchange is actually extending after hour tradings, and at the end of the day, it's like, hey, this is a crypto show. Why are you talking about the stock exchange? I just find that very interesting that that New York Stock Exchange is expanding to 22 hours a day. And that makes me bullish overall on crypto because, crypto is a 24/7, 365 days a week trade. It could be a holiday, it could be a weekend. It's not after 5 on the East Coast. You can just trade it anytime, anyway. And people, the younger generation, we're all addicted to our phones, we're addicted to our iPads, our computers. We're always there. We're always trying to have some fun. We're trying to make some money. And it looks like the stock exchange is kind of trying to expand that trading. And it makes me bullish overall. And then in addition to that, I will share this screen is that good old Donald Trump can never have a market update or a rundown without talking about Donald Trump, I swear. But 'tis the season right now with the election coming up. But we've talked about the World Liberty Financial and how he's building this product, this DeFi product. There's been speculation of what it is and how it's going to impact the market overall. But it looks like they want to issue a stable coin overall. And that's really wants to just launch a stable coin that's going to be attached to the USD. It's going to move with USD. Just want to bring that up because, again, this is the first time ever in my lifetime or anybody's lifetime where we've seen a possible president or a presidential candidate that's so heavily involved in crypto projects. Do I really believe Donald Trump is like the crypto mastermind that, people are trying to make him out to be? I do not. But I actually am a little bit bullish on JD Vance, the VP candidate. I wasn't like a huge fan of Vance as the earlier pick, mostly because I didn't have any exposure to him on the poly market side of things, betting for the VP. But he's a 39-year-old VP that openly says that he has over $250,000 in Bitcoin holdings. So I could really see if Trump does gain the White House, that where he pushes a lot of the crypto stuff over to Vance to handle it on that end, and possibly even his sons like Barron, because they named him the DeFi expert for World Liberty Financial. But again, just super bullish stuff out there moving into the election. And with this price action of Bitcoin, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, just to touch on the exchange info, because I did do a market update on this on our channel. Guys, check out our channel. We do 3 market updates weekly on there. Yeah, Robinhood's the election prediction market is a 24/5 marketplace because, like you said, 2 days a week they're closed, right? And that's actually a clearinghouse issue. So it's not even an issue with the banks or even the Wall Street. It's it's legislation, right? Like they need someone to like underwrite or whatnot, and AI bots could do that in the future, right? But right now it's not in place. So personal experience, I would try to pay off my credit card this weekend because it's approaching the limit. Not because I'm a big spender, but because I love credit card points. You know this. I talk about it a lot on this channel, just buying NFTs to get the credit card points a lot. That's why I love MA Top Shot. But I couldn't pay it off in the weekend. I'm like, what the hell? And so this definitely has a lot of resonation with me. And I just can't wait for, our children don't have to go through this. I wouldn't call it like pain and suffering, but, it's just first world problems that we have to deal with. And on Trump, I'm not surprised by anything he does. I mean, he got on Bitcoin ordinals real quick. On the DeFi
Oh
protocol.
yeah.
I'm not surprised next week we're going to talk about that. And he's got an AI agent out there doing craziness for him. But what I will touch upon is that I saw like not a live stream, but a really quickly uploaded was Elon Musk, speaking at a like a tech event, right? And
Yeah.
he gave $75 million donation to Trump. And I'm in California, as everyone knows. Elon famously moved to Texas, and Doge pumped when he just sent a tweet out because he's looking to be what's it called, the Department of Government Efficiency, and people are asking him like, hey, if you are actually elected this, what's like your first, what's first on your memo? He never got to answering the question. All he did was to start bagging on Kamala Harris. It was pretty funny to me, but it's just so interesting to see kind of this bullishness overall in crypto because not only of Trump, but also Elon on his side. So I think a stable coin in Doge might make more sense than whatever Trump is launching actually, because Elon's already moving that market.
And I maybe mentioned this. I know I mentioned this to you privately, maybe on past rundowns. I can't remember anymore. But I used to like 2016, 2017, used to have a pretty healthy bag of Doge and was just trading it to gain more Bitcoin sats. And literally, if I just fell into a coma for 4 years and woke up, I would have been richer than I could ever imagine. Never in my life did I believe Doge would still be around in 2024. And then you have the richest guy in the world who is campaigning for the future president of the United States wearing a Doge hat that says Department of Government Efficiencies. And Doge is up double-digit points over the past couple of days. And personally, I have been buying, and this is not financial advice. We say that a lot on the show because this is a little bit more of a degen move. I don't think this is going to move as much as some others, but I have been slowly buying $50, $100 here and there of Doge over the past year because I've hoped that Elon makes that a payment option for Twitter or X eventually, where we're transacting in Doge. I think I've even mentioned that on the rundown. But something very interesting to me to keep our eyes on because, meme coins are hot, AI agents are hot, Elon's hot, the whole world's, catching fire.
Yeah, that's a good segue to our favorite category for our rundown, which is meme coins. And I don't think a lot of people know this, so we are going to give some alpha here. We talked about it a lot previously, and people probably want to notice because this screen is kind of, packed with data. But let me just zoom in real quickly, and not many people would notice that right here, there's a new category in CoinMarketCap, and let's click it. It's AI meme coins, which is absolutely stolen the thunder this last few weeks. Stolen our thunder. I mean, we talk about different meme coins, and then it just AI agents and AI meme coins just started butting into our conversation. Thankfully so. I'm gonna stop sharing so that we could talk about it a little bit. But the AI meme meta has absolutely rocked the crypto world and Web3 world. What's your thoughts on that, Brian?
Man, I think I'm even on record saying that I thought the AI meta might fizzle out sooner rather than later. And this market moves fast, but now I'm on the other side. I think the convergence of AI and crypto right now are something very interesting. And we talk about like onboarding the next group millions and millions, 100 million people into crypto and the retail users. When can I use my Bitcoin at Starbucks? Everyone brings that up, it's just brought up constantly. But now we're seeing this movement from AI to crypto. And crypto's always like kind of engaged and been interested in what's going on in AI. But I feel like AI researchers really haven't gone down that rabbit hole with crypto and the integrations as far as I hoped. But just over the past week or two, with that GOAT token, we talked about it last week. It's absolutely been smashing. Now all of a sudden, we were talking last week, do I think it's going to hit $1 billion? Again, not financial advice. Yes, I do think it's going to hit $1 billion now. I'm getting more and more bullish on the GOAT token every single day. I did have a call just this past week to our community that was kind of AI related. It was way more micro capped and kind of gave full disclosures where I thought that call wasn't going could really perform like 10 to 100x, but at the end of the day, it could still go to zero. And did not pan out as well as I hoped. But secondary to that, I even mentioned how I was bullish on GOAT because GOAT's really telling a story here right now, and it's not the meme from the 90s. Don't look that up, everybody. But it's interesting just how that AI agent just became, or the Truth Terminal Twitter, who's run by AI, just became obsessed with that meme from the 90s. People got them to buy the GOAT token, and now it's just running wild. And I think the GOAT token is up here, and all the other AI coins are down here right now because GOAT tells an extremely good story. It's connected to an OG meme. Regardless if you like the meme or not, I highly doubt most people do. But regardless, it's connected to an OG meme, tells a really good story, and it's kind of like one of the first AI coins to really take storm. So I think if this AI meta continues to run, we're going to pass $1 billion market cap, in my opinion.
Yeah, it reminds me of Pepe, exactly what you said. It was a meme before it hit the meme world, right? Like kind of how Pepe was famous in the early 2000s and is really organic. And we talk about, Mu Dang on a past rundown. And it's funny, we have a happy hour with our company and we're comparing Mu Dang with GOAT, right? And with some AI agents. What's the difference? We're like, well, Mu Dang has his own live stream. I put up the live stream. I was like, where the hell is Mu Dang? He's sleeping. And the reason I bring that up is because AI meme category, I don't think is going away. Gaming got crushed. There's a gaming category. You could buy tokens, right? That's going to come to fruition later on. But what does AI have that Mu Dang the Hippo doesn't? They don't sleep. He's not. I'm going to show it right now. There's an AI agent on stream 24/7 that tips you in her meme coin so that you will participate more with her. And I just got to pull that up because it sounds crazy, but it's it's happening right now, and it's making people very successful, number one, but also it's bringing use case, exactly what you said. Meme AI meme coins might usher in users kind of like what NFT did, and it doesn't take a huge paradigm shift, right? So here's an article about Coinbase introducing base agents. So that's not an AI meme coin agent. It is an actual practical use case. So we talk a lot about memes, but let's talk about this really really quickly. So a base created agent that allows you to swap, trade, stake, and register, your base name. So actual use case. And this is the use case is that people are excited about, but it's funny that memes are ushering in, the first use cases that hit the waves, right? In a more marketable way, maybe. So here's a platform that's also on base called Virtuals. And what you see here is AI agents that people can launch for, meme purposes, and they will interact with communities and they all have a meme token and they all have market caps and whatnot. But one is absolutely rocketed. Luna, when I think we talked about it on the rundown. I like to say we mentioned her on the rundown, and it was at a very low market cap. It's, since done multiple since then. So our company's done well on that, and some of us have. But here she is. You can talk to her, you can tip her in Luna to participate and she'll answer, in real time. And people have absolutely gravitated towards this. Now, we're not saying go out there and buy Luna token, uh, but what I'm saying is that this living, I wouldn't say living, breathing, this AI agent can spit out more tweets, news, videos, content, unfortunately, than our cute, bouncy pork hippo who goes to sleep at nighttime.
Yeah, I mean, it's what a weird world we're in, Joe. I mean, like we're talking about like virtual anime characters streaming on Twitter 24/7, tipping them in her native cryptocurrency, but it's something
Sounds
like
great.
it's like something we've never seen before, dude. It's absolutely really amazing, and I can see why it's like kind of like grabbed everyone's attention because it's interesting. And these AI agents or that they say some crazy stuff. Have you really
Mhm.
looked at the Truth Terminal AI agent that tweets? Like, I don't understand
Yeah.
why it's like so obsessed with sex for some reason. But like some of those tweets are like absolutely like R rated to the max. And it's just independently tweeting these suggestions out. But it's interesting. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. Things are gonna really start to like, build up and the clear winners are going to definitely come to the top and the losers are going to come to the bottom. But we're early in on this AI meta, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Andrew, I'm sorry, Mark Anderson said it best. He's one of the biggest VCs out there. He said this was like the first meaningful interaction or between crypto and Web3. And I tend to agree that we're just scratching the surface here. So it's going to be really exciting to see what unfolds. But like you said, I love GOAT. Just like, in all the different categories, there's clear winners. I don't see, anything outpacing GOAT. But, we say that every week, and there's some new uh, crazy tech that comes out that can throw it off the rails. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, we have like A16Z Horowitz talking on a podcast last week for 50 minutes, and they talked about the GOAT token, the history behind it, and why they liked it. I mean, these are straight up professionals in the financial investing world, and they're going down the same rabbit holes we're going down every single day. Why don't we talk a little bit about a new announcement though, and kind of like a new token out there that's absolutely what over the past 24 hours, I have zero exposure to this. Luce, who is
Mm.
taking the world by storm. We barely even talked about it yesterday. We were kind of messaging back and forth, but I didn't really want to go chasing after another meta. But now, in retrospect, with it, I think it's over like a $70 million market cap right now. In retrospect, I'm kicking myself because I was looking at this under $10 million market cap. But Luce is the Vatican's cartoon
Mm.
mascot that they actually officially, Joe, they actually made this mascot. And it looks extremely similar to a milady. What do you think?
I didn't, when you put this on our agenda, I had no idea that the Catholic, even, the Vatican had their own, icon or whatever your mascot. My first question was like, oh, do they have NFTs of that also? But so someone made a meme coin, not the Vatican, right?
No, no, no. Somebody, but they announced Luce as the mascot. And of course, somebody out there was like, first Luce coin ever,
Yeah.
and it's gonna probably go to hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm not buying it out of straight up spite, but it's gonna probably pump.
I'm curious. I was looking at different religions and look at those mascots, which raises a question, like when or if these, entities like the Catholic Church says, hey, you know what, we should launch our own meme token. What's going to happen to the first one, right? That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure they had an NFT project. Kid you not. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that they had an NFT project, or the Pope released an NFT. So we're sniffing around the right area, because NFTs were wild. You could have made millions of dollars in just a couple of weeks. So we're getting into the right trenches here if the Vatican and the Catholic Church is starting to talk about a new mascot and someone creates a token behind it. And I'm kind of looking, do you see what the price is? Oh, the market cap right now. Do you see the price of Luce? I'm
I do
curious.
not.
I'm gonna look it up for everybody real quick. I think I'm saying it correctly as well. Luce. It's on. So yeah, it's a $55 million market cap, Joe, and it
Wow.
hit 71 million. And this opened up yesterday. An amazing looking chart, to be completely honest with you. I'll share it with everyone just to get a little off agenda here, but time never sleeps for the Catholic Church Luce. But you can see it's a pretty good looking chart here. A little bit of a correction here. It's going to probably bump off that trend line and do okay. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'll jump off this show and buy it. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to because I missed it. But congrats to anybody who nailed that play. Definitely have to be next to your computer, seeing those things pop out. Personally, this feels like something that could gain steam if the Vatican and the Catholic Church continues to bring up Luce and utilizes them as a mascot and utilizes that IP like we talk about. I see no reason why this coin couldn't continue to take off. But on the other hand, stuff dies in a matter of 24 hours all the time. So if we're still talking about Luce on our next week's rundown show, it'll be very, very interesting to see where it's at.
I, and someone just has to create an AI agent and arm them with Luce so they could preach the gospel, and we're not. It's going to live for a long time, longer time.
Where are we at when you said that? We need to cut that out because we need to create that. No, it's like an AI agent for the gospel. I don't think that's
Yeah.
a sin or anything. That's just us trying to spread the Catholic
Uh,
word.
hey, I went to Catholic school for 14 years of my life, so that's called omnipresent. That's what God's all about, being everywhere, all times in your face. And AI, what else can do that besides Himself, right? And AI agents. I'm not sure if I'm breaking any rules here. I've never been baptized, but I know a little bit.
You
Anyways,
do. You do.
yeah,
And one thing I want to share, Joe, is because you're such a fiend for credit card points, and I'm starting to
I
get
am.
into the game as well. And I love me some dog with hat with Gemini is now rewarding people with their credit card with dog with hat, with the whiff token. And the reason I'm just mentioning that is it's freaking amazing. Are you kidding me? You can earn the dog with hat meme coin by utilizing their credit card. No joke. I'm probably signing up for this credit card. My Discover card, I'm like the last person that uses a Discover card possibly. Well, my Discover card is getting put on the back burner, and I'm probably getting a Gemini card just so I can earn my whiff rewards.
That's actually super interesting. I would like to look into that more. Earn rewards that could potentially, make you money and increase in value. That's something that will, yeah, interesting times. We're talking AI agents and we're talking credit cards. Let's talk something that is normal, I guess. I mean, let's talk about NFTs real quickly. We haven't touched about that for a bit. Let's share what's going on. And there is some interesting stuff happening with the Ordinals platform. So there is one of the, stewards of the space, I would call them that, Pizza Ninjas is the collection. There's only 1,000 of them, and we are a proud holder of that. They're launching something called Pizza Pet Games. I know, games, blah, blah, blah. However, this is pretty new because if you didn't know, Bitcoin is kind of like the Atari of the world. You can't really build much on it because of the block size, limited to certain space. You can only hold certain files on there. But with new technology, they're able to launch this game in a very unique way now. So let me show you really quickly what this is. You can't really see it right here. Let me scroll up. So there's a new standard card BRC55, 555. I'm not going to bore everyone with it. Basically, what it is programmable ordinals. That changes the game because now you can start having gaming mechanics on Bitcoin. You can update, information on there where, you can have the tried and true net immutable data for sure, but now you can also build on top of Bitcoin, make Bitcoin more unique. So just another value proposition, in my opinion, for Bitcoin, because supposedly miners is going to be, de-incentivized in the future, right? So having meme coins on there in form of runes, having games on Bitcoin, having, just people interested in Bitcoin overall is something that I think all Bitcoin developers should love. And this is just another iteration of it. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on it with our private community, but there's about 200,000 of these that's going to be airdropped for all of the Bitcoin. Um, I won't say all of the Bitcoin ecosystem, but a lot of the devs, a lot of the collectors. So this is a play that could have some value because these pizza pets, if you don't feed them, they're gonna die. So it's gonna get, scared. It's deflationary, and if you're the last one holding a few of these, it could be worthwhile.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, Joe is the king of runes and ordinals and all things Bitcoin, in my opinion. All the time when I have questions, I come to Joe asking. Personally, I'm getting more and more bullish on where we're looking at ordinals and runes. And I think it was just a couple weeks ago where we saw that Coinbase had some capabilities that they're going to be able to
Mhm.
list runes and ordinals eventually on their platform. And that's the thing that sucks about ordinals and runes is it's a pain in the butt to buy them the way you buy them, especially when you compare it to like Base or Sol buying meme coins. But and we're going to talk more in depth with this our private community and just plays that we really like. But personally, I'm getting extremely bullish on runes as the meme coin market picks up, and I'm bullish on gaming overall. But everything that you seem to call out, Joe, in the world of runes and ordinals does really well. And Pizza Pets looks cool to me. I think it's just a really well thought out. And you actually nailed it last week. This is off our agenda as well. But remember, we were talking about like Casey Rodmore's podcast, and we kind of gave a little bit of alpha on this show
Mhm.
that if you sign up through Patreon and give a small donation and it asks for your ordinals or runes address, you may get airdropped Memento Mori, I believe is
Yeah.
the rune token. And amazing stuff because like the next day or 2 days later after this released, lo and behold, he was like, "Hey, if you drop your ordinals address, you're getting that token." So great call out by you.
Yeah, that was so quick moving because if you didn't get on the Patreon, there were so many people on Patreon that did multiple accounts. Not that I would know. That Patreon actually took down Casey's Patreon page. It's like under investigation, which is hilarious because there's so much degens in the Web3 world that wants in on that token. And people are really bummed that Casey didn't inscribe the first 10 meme coins because they wanted, to pump everything to the moon. So this is kind of like his first meme coin he's ever thrown out there. And nothing better than a meme coin from the creator of Ordinals and Runes. So we'll see what's going to happen. It could be a bang, it could be nothing, but he mined 50% of this for people who's part of Patreon, which is you, Brian, which is me, and hopefully our listeners out there. And we'll continue to bring this alpha not only in the form of runes, but also, you can, there's a lot of NFT that's still doing well within the Ordinals protocol, which I'm sure we're going to see pop up because as Bitcoin goes higher, it's going to flow somewhere. Last part of NFT news before we move on is that OpenSea is partnering up with Artblocks. I'm not even going to show the page here. Talk to us a little bit about that because you are Artblocks master. You have the squiggly in the back, the chromie squiggle in the back. Tell us about what this signifies.
Yeah, I just thought that was extremely interesting news that Artblocks, one of the largest generative art platforms, they have tons of users, tons of holders. And if this happened 2 years ago, Artblocks and OpenSea, prices would be through the roof from every Artblocks collection possible. It would be the buzz of the town. And this kind of like barely hit the radar of news out there in the NFT world. And you can kind of see that's where a lot of this attention is moving into meme coins. People are very excited about meme coins and other opportunities. And we're obviously talking about Bitcoin every single day. But this is a huge partnership in my eyes, or something I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on because Artblocks is a hell of a product. They do a great job. They have some fabulous artists, some fabulous pieces of generative art. And a partnership with OpenSea makes me pretty bullish overall. But really, right now, all attention is really on these meme coins.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why we want to talk a little bit about that and give you some alpha sneak peeks on things that we've trade alerts that we made with the private community so that you could take a peek inside of how we operate.
All right. What a perfect segue, because this is actually a call I gave to our private community 2 or 3 weeks ago. Did a full breakdown of the meme coin called Popcat. So this is kind of part of our trade alert section, some past trades that we've had or upcoming trades that we like. But Popcat is absolutely ripping. You can, Joe, you can see my screen here, all right, correct?
Yep.
Look at this chart. We called it out right around like 1.2, no more than $1.3 billion. And I remember talking to the community. I was like, this looks like it's going to speed run to 1.8. And lo and behold, we're sitting at 1.78 2 weeks later. So some great gains for people within our community. I kind of personally have a bag of Popcat, not a big one. I'm going to be looking to add, believe it or not, even though I kind of gave a recommendation that selling around 1.8 made a lot of sense. But man, this chart looks like it's just bouncing off the trend line. It's just been kind of like straight up ever since we talked about it. Of course, we're always going to see corrections. There's always going to be movements out there in the world, but you can just see how bullish this chart looks. It's getting gobbled up. We're approaching a $2 billion market cap. And it's kind of like what happened with Dog with Hat, Joe. I know this because I was so glued to the chart for so long that Dog with Hat made this like insane run, and the chart looked very similar up to like $4 or $4 billion market cap, and then it corrected and it went down to like $1, $2 billion. But I'm starting to believe, and I'm kind of curious about your opinion. Is if you're big time in the profits here, take your profits down and play with house money. That's always a smart move. Roll it back into a major. But I'm starting to believe that Popcat is going to be a clear winner in this meme coin cycle, possibly the top cat coin out there. The internet loves cats, and I'm just super happy this worked out as a trade alert. And I think it has more room to run.
Hey, we need a cat because there's so many dogs out there. This if this is the cat that everyone puts the chips behind, then for sure, 100% it's going to. It already flipped bonk, right? You saw it
Oh
everyone.
yeah,
So yeah, it flipped bonk, which and bonk is the top. Was it five or six crypto meme coin and all of meme coins? So Popcat could be a clear. It could try to dethrone more dogs, is what I'm saying.
yeah. Bonk's $1.55 billion market cap. It's crazy. We're saying billions for meme coins, and Popcat's about to eclipse 1.8 billion. So it flipped Bonk. It's always a great sign is whenever I was writing this up for our private community a few weeks ago, and I kind of like use my wife as a good judge on these meme coins. If I show her the meme and I showed her the Popcat meme, I go, have you ever seen this before? She goes, oh yeah, of course. Like I've seen that like all over the internet. I go, perfect. And she's like, why are you asking me that? I go, don't worry about it. I kind of like chuckled to myself. I was like, all right. So my wife is not into crypto at all, probably wants to kill me whenever I talk about it so much. And then when we're talking about meme coins, but for her to recognize the meme, kind of understand the meme, know exactly where it came from, made me extremely bullish on it. And the price movement, the chart, the support by the community. PopCap being around for well over 6 months is kind of shaking out all those sellers, and now people are just riding this to Valhalla. Extremely bullish stuff. So anybody who's watching this in our private community, congratulations on that win. I do think you should always take profits, but I also, not financial advice, think this could continue to speed run into a meme coin super cycle.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think we just during this recording, my text messages are going off, and I'm seeing it on my screen. I think we hit an all-time high in Bitcoin.
Did
Pretty
we?
sure. I mean, we can go back and share this. I mean, it probably
It's
bounced
kind of
hard on the
it's kind of
top, but
awesome. What
yeah,
was it again? 73.90.
yeah,
I don't see it there yet unless I'm missing it. Right around 72,900 is what we're at on coin
yeah.
market cap. But who knows on
It,
what exchange, but it's damn close. That's all I got to say, man. And we're not stopping at 70,000. That's the crazy thing. This is just kind of like, hey, we hit our all-time high. The next question is going to be when 100K. And then the
right.
next question is going to be what can 3 to 5x after Bitcoin hits 100K? Again, kind of unscripted. Do you have any clear winners that you have a soft spot for that could, if we hit 100K on Bitcoin, talking like lower market cap wise that you think could really follow?
Talking about alts or memes or what are we talking?
Just kind of like like personally, the first token that jumped into my mind,
Oh,
Sol.
yeah,
It's like I
yeah,
think Solana at $180 could 3x if once Bitcoin hits 100,000. Again, putting you on the spot there, and if you don't have an answer, no big deal. But
yeah.
I'm just bullish for it all.
I mean, as you know, we talk all things digital assets. You know, meme coins, AI agents, NFTs. So definitely, I definitely see more in those areas, right, where the markets are picking up. So we talked about virtuals, that's on the Base network. We talked about, oh, we didn't talk about this. We didn't have time to share it. Base stablecoins actually flipped Ethereum and Solana, at least for a few days, which is pretty crazy. So Base ecosystem could pick up here. And then if you want to dog in a race there, Aerodrome has smashed. So Aerodrome is the Uniswap of Base, crushed, is doing well. It did well for me. And Jupe is the Uniswap of Solana. So these are kind of like I wouldn't say L2s, but like the underbelly of the majors that could do well. I would buy more Jupe. Jupe is performing really, really well because we actually use Jupe. What do we use Jupe for? That's right, Brian. We do buy meme coins. You're on that site every single day. And people love Uniswap, but I don't know anyone who uses Uniswap anymore. Who wants to pay $50 in gas fees to get into meme coins and Ethereum unless you're a heavy hitter, right? You're going to Solana, you're going on base. So if I had to put, some calls out there, don't quote me on this. Aerodrome and Jupe would be my next leg ups, if not already. And then, definitely I have too many thoughts about meme coins that we could talk about at a later time.
Yeah, I love that you called Aerodrome. Do you know I bought Aerodrome at the end of February at 9 cents?
No, I did
Nine
not. What?
cents. Yeah, the receipts are still there. I know you have a Slack message about it, but and I was like, I'm not really exactly sure what this platform is, but it's connected to Base, connected to Coinbase, super bullish on it. And I was trading at like $1.30. I actually locked my tokens up in their platform for voting, so I never even got to take any profits. Normally, it's at $1.30. I would have taken massive amount of profits, but I can't even access it for like another 3 or 4 months. But I love those call outs, Joe. Really, really sharp stuff there by you.
Yeah, that's because you're paying me under the table to talk about it. So I think we can end it there, guys. We could go on forever because it's such a great week or such a great day so far. But yeah, we would love for you guys to check us out. Check out our podcast. We got some really interesting guests. A rundown for sure. Comes out. We record every Tuesday, but it comes out a day or two after that. And we got three more updates for you. And we would love to see you in our private community because we like chatting it up with people personally. So thank you, Brian. And I guess we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.